Today we are going to do lesson 6.5, problem solving and dividing equations. As we work this problem, I want you to think about inverse operations, or the opposite operations that you can use when you solve equations. The carpenter chose the size of the nail shown below for a job that she is doing. The nail length is 3 times the thickness of the board she is nailing. What is the thickness of the board she is nailing? So here you see a representation of the nail and the thickness of the board. First of all, we need to find the length of the nail. A 7-penny nail is 2 1/4 inches long. The nail length is 3 times the thickness of the boards. We need to use the inverse relationship between multiplication and division. So the inverse of multiplication is going to be division. So in your notebook, you need to write the division problem that you see here. 2 1/4 divided by 3. Now I'm just going to walk you through the steps of this problem just as a review. Anytime we have a mixed number in a division problem, we have to change the mixed number to an improper fraction. So if you see 2 1/4, remember that you're going to do 4 times 2, which is 8, plus 1, which is 9. And that's how you come up with the fraction 9/4. Then to change your whole number to a fraction, you need to put it over 1. Get your problem ready to multiply. Get everything just like you see right here before you start changing your division sign to multiplication. Don't try to do all of that in one step. People tend to make a mistake when they start trying to go from mixed numbers and improper fractions and to taking the reciprocal all at one time. So now you're ready to multiply. You've got 9/4 times 1/3. Then you can look, you can simplify before you multiply. You can divide 3 by 3 and get 1. And then you can have 9 divided by 3, which is 3. 3 times 1 is 3, and 4 times 1 is 4. And your final answer is 3/4. And the boards are 3/4 of an inch thick. Now complete this problem in your workbook. A construction supervisor orders a 5-pound box of nails for a job. There are 16 ounces in a pound. If each nail weighs 1/10 of an ounce, how many nails are in the box? You can see your answer choices here. A, 80, 800, or 8,000 nails. Before you begin working on this problem, you need to realize that they are asking you about ounces. And then at the beginning of the problem, you see that you have a 5-pound box. So you need to think about how many ounces that there are in a pound. Remember that there are 16 ounces that equal 1 pound. And think about what you might need to do there. All right, let's check your work here. You need to convert 5 pounds to ounces. That means you're going to need to do 5 pounds times 16 ounces, and that is going to give you 80 ounces. Now you're going to divide the total weight of the nails in the box. So 80 over 1 divided by 1/10 is 80 over 1 times 10 over 1, which is 800. So there are 800 nails in the box. Now this entire problem should be copied into your workbook. Now, I want you to answer this question in your workbook. If it's not there, put it in your notebook. They want you to solve this equation. It's an equation because it has an equal sign. It says 1/3 x equals 1/5. And anytime you see a whole number or a fraction next to a variable, you should automatically know that that means that they are multiplying those two things together. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So you should know that we need to divide both sides by 1/3 in order to get the x by itself on one side of the equation here. So we need to divide by 1/3 on this side, and we need to divide by 1/3 on this side. So now we have x equals 1/5 divided by 1/3. Now we need to continue working this just like we have all of our other problems. We're going to keep our first fraction the same. We're going to change our division sign to multiplication, and we're going to take the reciprocal of our second fraction. All right, so now we are ready to multiply because there's no simplifying that we can do. 1 times 3 is 3, and 1 times 5 is 5. So x equals 3/5 is our final answer. All right, now all of this you should have copied either in your notebook or workbook. I want you to work out both of these in your workbook. 2x equals 5/9, and 1 1/5 x equals 3/5. Remember that on the problem 1 1/5 x, that you still need to change that mixed number to an improper fraction before you work that problem out. When you are done, you need to raise your hand or go to your teacher. You need to show them both of these problems so that they can see that you've done these correctly. Now, this one here, what is the solution of 3/4 n equals 12? All right, you have A equals 1/16, B 1/9, C is 9, and if you can't see it, D is 16. On my screen, I'm not sure if you can see that or not. Now, you need to show us all of your work on all of these. We can't help you find your mistakes if we can't see what you have done. So once you have done this, then you need to do the digit 6-5 that is in your to-do list and any IXLs that your teacher has assigned to you.